Every single day, millions of students log on to messaging apps, scroll through social media feeds, and jump into multiplayer lobbies. These digital spaces serve a clear, practical purpose. They give us a place to swap study notes, debate our favorite shows, and maintain friendships long after the final bell rings. We tap Join, assuming these spaces operate under the same unspoken rules of respect we expect in a physical classroom. But a notification icon doesn't guarantee a safe environment. While our phones offer constant access to thousands of different communities, the effect those groups have on us is entirely dictated by the unwritten rules and behaviors they slowly normalize. We are biologically programmed to seek out a tribe. The human brain interprets social isolation as a physical threat, meaning our desire to fit in is an evolutionary survival mechanism. Online groups hack this biological drive with incredible efficiency. A group chat delivers immediate, measurable proof of acceptance through laughing emojis, upvotes, and rapid replies. This animation illustrates what happens next. Here is a single, independent user connecting to a larger network. Because that user craves the cluster's approval, they will unconsciously begin to mimic the behaviors and attitudes of the group to secure their place inside it. The instinct to belong is so strong that we willingly trade our individuality for inclusion. A community we initially joined for a quick laugh can slowly overwrite our personal boundaries. When a student first accepts an invite to a new server or group chat, the environment is highly welcoming. Everyone is excited to have a new member, and the conversation is light. Members bond over harmless memes, establish inside jokes, and maybe even share advice on upcoming assignments. Every interaction triggers a small burst of positive reinforcement. Over a few weeks, that steady rhythm of friendly notifications creates genuine loyalty. The user feels supported, valued, and secure within the group's digital walls. That early foundation of trust acts as a blindfold. Because the student already views the group as a safe space, they stop scrutinizing the content being shared. The tone rarely flips overnight. It starts with a single aggressive joke that pushes the line of what's acceptable, testing the waters to see who laughs and who objects. Watch how this dark ink seeps into the clear water. This is exactly how edgy humor escalates into targeted insults. A sarcastic comment turns into spreading rumors about a classmate, which then evolves into coordinating harassment or promoting dangerous internet challenges. Many members recognize the toxicity, but they stay completely silent. The fear of being kicked out of the chat or becoming the group's next target overrides their instinct to speak up. To avoid standing out, a student will often start adopting the group's new vocabulary. They repeat the insults and mimic the aggressive behavior just to signal that they are still part of the team. The descent into toxicity is a slow fade. By the time a student realizes the jokes are actually causing real-world harm, they have already been participating in the behavior for weeks. This diagram illustrates an echo chamber in action. When a closed group repeats and amplifies the same harmful ideas without any outside pushback, extreme hostility begins to feel like a perfectly normal way to communicate. At this stage, the group shifts from offering voluntary friendship to using pressure to enforce compliance. Disagreeing with the dominant voices suddenly carries the threat of immediate retaliation. When the atmosphere in a chat feels heavy or hostile, a student needs to initiate a diagnostic pause, literally putting the phone down to evaluate what the group is asking of them. Ask yourself, does this group pressure you to embarrass others? Do they encourage risky behavior or self-harm? Do they demand you keep their conversations secret from trusted adults, or make you afraid to voice your real opinion? If a community demands secrecy or requires you to hurt others to maintain your membership, it is no longer a support system. It is a trap. Eventually, every toxic group forces a threshold moment. The members will demand that you post a cruel comment, share a compromising photo, or join in on a harassment campaign, forcing you to make a definitive choice. The group will frame this as a test of loyalty, but true friends do not condition their acceptance on your willingness to compromise your values or your safety. Walking away from that pressure is not a social defeat. Recognizing a toxic environment and refusing to participate is a decisive act of self-protection. Taking back control starts with direct digital action. You must hit the leave button, exit the server, and block the specific users who attempt to pressure or threaten you. But digital boundaries aren't always enough. You have to bring the issue offline by showing messages to a parent, a guidance counselor, or a teacher. There is a strong stigma that reporting makes you a snitch. In reality, exposing harmful behavior establishes firm boundaries and often protects younger or more vulnerable students from becoming the group's next targets. Wanting to belong to a community is entirely natural, but fitting into a group should never require you to sacrifice your physical safety or your moral compass. The people you surround yourself with online will ultimately shape the person you become offline. Choose communities that challenge you to grow, treat others with respect, and value positive friendships.